Daisy Badfish, and welcome to another episode from the PrimeCraft server. In the last episode, we got our landings decorated for our industrial complex. Well, at least we got the top one. We did run out of stuff, and I had to do a bunch of mining, and I managed to get all the things I needed to complete all of the landings. Now, that might look like it's not done, but it is. That's an area dug out waiting for a beacon. So all of the levels are done. I even got enough diamonds to buy all of the sea lanterns I needed for Mr. Trend. So all of the lights are in as well. Why are there torches up here? I was just about to say there are no more torches anywhere in here, and then I just realized I was standing around some. I did remove them from all the other levels. I guess I just missed the top one. I don't know. But yep, no more torches in here. So we are all lit up with sea lanterns. So that's pretty exciting. Right, so in this episode, I have been doing a little bit of work out in the gaming district, not too much. I've got a game design that I've had in mind for a little while, so I started messing with it in creative mode, and I tweeted out a picture from my creative world, which is actually on a server now, so I can access it from anywhere, which is pretty neat. But yeah, I tweeted out a picture of the interior of part of the game that I'm going to be building. So what I'm doing now is I'm just out here looking for any materials that I might be able to use for the landscaping in the area, and I can take some granite too. Why not? Because there's quite a big area that I need to terraform out there. Yeah, see, here's the bottom, and this is where the beacon's gonna go. It's all done. No more dirt. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that granite. But yeah, let's head out there and I'll show you what I've been working on. This is the 2 towers coming soon. But yeah, the first thing I've got to do is actually get this all at the same level. And all I've done so far, as I said, is I put this around the area and then I started clearing it at this level. So there was a little bit more of a hill here and a little bit more of a hill here and over there. But other than that, there wasn't that much to take out to get it to this level. The problem is over here. There's a lot more area to fill in to bring it up than there was to take it down, and I still don't have that much stuff. And yeah, so I think what I'm going to have to do instead is bring it down to this level. But that means we're going to have a wall situation here, and I didn't really want there to be a wall, so we'll have to do some terraforming and stuff, obviously, once this is done. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to be working on for a while here, is getting this all at the same level to start with. Alright, so this is all terraformed now. I brought it up, and it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. We're going to have a little bit more work to do around here, obviously, with once we actually start getting the build in place. I might actually go ahead and replace all of the stone here at this level with dirt or grass blocks. Is actually all I've got right now. I used all the dirt in filling in this massive thing. So yeah, this is all filled in. It's filled in, you know what I mean? It's not just covered over and I put torches down or something like that. This is solid dirt, man. It took a while, but that's going to be better in the long run, I think. All right, so I got the rest of the dirt blocks in, and I've gone ahead and measured out the center. And we're going to grab some cobblestone and start plotting out the towers. Now, we're not going to build them out today because I'm actually, well, today for me. I'll probably get it done in this episode, I hope. But, yep, I do not have all the materials I even need to build these towers yet. So actually, now that I think about it, it might not even be in this episode. I need to get a lot of things, but for now, this is 2 wide center, because this is, if you remember, this is 70 blocks long. So we don't have an odd number, so we don't have a one, true center, but that's by design, because I want 10 blocks in between each of the tower zones, I suppose you could think about it. So we're going to start from here and count out 5 and do, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now this is where our first launcher is going to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and dig out the spot for it. And then It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 blocks of space between the edge of the launcher and the edge of the tower. So now we can build this out, and it's 5 here, and then 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Yep, like that. So we've got a basic circle, and this is going to be essentially the size of the ring. Now, there's going to be launchers on 3 sides of it, so we need to come out here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if I did this right, which is a big if, there should be 5 blocks of space here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fail. But that's all right. That's all right. Let's do this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many's here? 1, 2, 3, 4. At least it's even. And that's actually fine. Again, I don't know if there's going to be a wall around it or not. This is just kind of defining the perimeter of the game itself. Now here is going to be a little different because there's not going to be... Alright, let me kind of explain what's going to happen here. I'm going to put a slime block launcher into this. And there's going to be a pillar here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about like this tall. Now you're going to launch yourself up onto here. And then there's going to be another block here with a pressure plate on it. And you're going to stand on this pressure plate. And now there's going to be 3 of these around each side, right? And when you're standing on this pressure plate, there's going to be a tower of hoppers in here. And standing on this pressure plate unlocks the tower so that items start flowing from a chest in the top down to the bottom. And it's going to be locked at the bottom so that the hoppers slowly start filling up. And it's going to be non-stackable items. So like weapons and crappy gear from spawners and stuff like that. And as it goes up, there's going to be lights going up the side, so I need the redstone lamps and comparators to make all that stuff happen, so that's what I'm missing. I'm going to have to spend some time in the nether for sure. But yeah, so the idea is that once your tower lights go to the top, you win. But there's going to be a way, like back here, not only is there going to be a reset lever where you can just like flip a lever to unlock the bottom and have it go all the way to the top. Now there's going to be item elevator in here, so it's constantly cycling through. Ooh, I better sleep. There will be a reset lever, so you could just unlock it, and all the items will flow through and go back to the top. And as long as nobody's standing on any of those pressure plates on those mini towers, you know, the stuff will stay at the top. So it'll just reset the game. But there's also going to be, I think, a pressure plate back here that will activate an unlock mechanism for the bottom as well. So that way, you know, someone from the opposing team can come over here and try to reset your progress. So that will be fun. I think rather than have it just unlock the top, it will activate a clock, maybe like a hopper clock that goes back and forth and just like ticks. So rather than have it constantly be unlocked, it will only unlock every other tick or so. And that way it will be slower to drain from the bottom than it will be to load from the top. But I don't know. I'll have to tweak all of these numbers because I really don't know how it's going to work out. All right, so that is the super basic idea of the game so that you've been able to see it. I'm going to actually take this down because it's not going to be cobblestone. But that's how it's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and dig out my markers and place the tower on the other side, and I will come back to you. So 2 teams, 2 towers. Each team has 3 ways to, you know, gather resources into their tower and gather points, I guess. And then there's another way to remove those points. The object isn't really to kill each other, so it's going to be just like punch 2 bows and, you know, full armor, I suppose. But yeah, that's basically how it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, I do know that the stuff that I'm going to build will function the way I want it to, because I've already tested that in creative. I know how to build this. I just don't know if it'll work overall as a game. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, for now, I'm going to leave this area because I need to go into the nether for a while. I also need to start thinking about, you know, what I want to build each tower out of, because so far in creative I don't have it designed to make it look nice. I just have it functioning, and it's all like cobblestone and kind of ugly. So we can do better than what's in my creative for sure. But yeah, I'll have to think about that a little bit. Anyways, back to this. I have with me a shulker box that's got everything in it that we should need to build this out functionally, so that we can I can have people out here, maybe we can look at stuff, and if anybody's got ideas of things, stuff like that, we can make it better. So yeah, lots of stuff here. So I think the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna need some cobblestone. We'll need our lamps. Actually, no, the first thing that we need to do is, ooh, I did not bring, I knew it, there's always one thing that I forget. Alright, I'll be right back. I need to run grab a dispenser. Okay, I'm back, and I've got my dispensers. I also need some glass. I also just realized that I don't think I have enough glass to do both sides. I think I only brought enough to do one, but I guess we'll see. So, alright, the first thing we're going to build for this is the actual item flow system. So, first thing we need to do is find the middle here, which I believe is this block by this block. Yep. Now, it's not going to stay in that orientation. That's just where it's going to go for now. I also think that I want the item elevator to go here. I think that looks about right. And the reason for that, I'll show you real quick. Just build this up. Wow. This is going to have, on all four directions, it's going to come out like this, right? And we're going to have a lamp here and some redstone here, and the same thing here and over there and over there. So this system right here is going to take the items all the way up to the top, and it's not going to interfere with any of these. So really, this item elevator could go on any four of these sides. I'm not sure the way the final design decoratively is going to look, so I want to put this kind of on the back side as far as from where you would be approaching it. So that's the only reason I've decided to put it there. So now I need to, we'll go ahead and remove these for now, because that's going to be kind of annoying. And then we'll need to grab our hoppers back and put them in line. Okay. So now that should be there. Now we'll need to build up our glass. And this is going to go up by 16 blocks. So we've got 3 by 3 that is going to be 16 blocks tall. Ooh. Just like this. And so I'm going to do that, and I will come back to you guys once I'm at the top. Alright, so I'm at the top, and I left my shulker box on the bottom. I did it on purpose, but I shouldn't have. I should have brought it with me. So what I'm going to need to do is use, I think, just a block here for now, because that's where the chest would be, and I should have brought it with me, but I didn't. So we'll bring that in here like that, and then like that. Perfect. So that if I drop that in there, it should show up here. Good. Good, good. Alright. So now I can fill this back in. We're going to leave an air block above that one. And alright, so that is our item elevator in place. We're going to grab this. We're going to put a block here and a block here. We're going to break this one. And I don't have a redstone torch on me either. Alright. Well, that's good. This block is going to stay here. We're going to have a torch on here, and that's going to prevent... that's going to lock this hopper, basically. Okay, so I guess we'll jump back down. Thank goodness for feather falling. Alright, so I think the next thing we're going to do here, I'll grab my chests, And some of this for now. Yep. We'll come back here in a second because I need to get up on here and we'll build our hopper tower. Down one. Beautiful. And then our chest, like that. Okay, so now the full cycle is in place, right? This will, well, I mean, we don't have any of the redstone in place yet, but, you know, it will start at the chest, and when it unlocks, it will drop to the bottom, which will be locked here until it unlocks, and then goes into the dispenser, at which case we'll have, you know, a clock off of it, and it'll fire it upwards. So we've got a complete cycle now for the items that are going to be in here. The next thing we need to do is start building out these. Now this is going to come out like this. And off of that, we need to grab some stuff out of the shulker box. I think I'm just going to move it. Bring it a little bit closer. I believe, well, let's put it outside. We need comparators, repeaters. We need redstone lamps. Good. So we've got comparator, which is going to come off like that, into a repeater, like that. And then we'll grab our redstone dust and just make a line like this and put that into a lamp. Now that is it. That's the whole thing. So whenever an item gets into this hopper, this comparator will read a signal from it. This repeater will then, you know, power it to full power, regardless of how many items are in there. So as soon as one item gets in there, that lamp turns on. So that's how that works. So we got to build this out on all four sides, going up every other one, so we get 5 lamps on each side. So I will be back once I get those in. All right, guys, I'm back, and I've got all of this part of it in place. Basically, the majority of the redstone. I do have to create my clocks and stuff. I guess to say that's the majority of the redstone is not exactly true. I do have this on me, so I can do that. Now, what we're going to be doing with this is creating a torch tower connected to 3 platforms. The platforms will basically, when you stand on them, this torch becomes unpowered. So, ooh, that's in the totally wrong spot. What am I doing? That needs to be over here. Okay, so we need block, and then break this one, and then torch. Okay, that makes more sense. So this block will get powered by a torch tower from below that is connected to those 3 platforms, and when this block becomes powered, this torch turns off, which will unlock this hopper, allowing items to flow from this chest, of which there are none currently. I still need to add items to there. I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I don't have a whole lot of junk items right now. I could use stuff from my fish farm or from my skeleton grinder, but I don't really have. My skeleton grinder is auto kill, so I'm not getting any loot from it, just bones and stuff like that. So, yeah, no armor or bows or anything like that. So I might have to do some more fishing and get some more junk stuff. But for now, this is good. So what I need to do, I guess we'll jump to the bottom and start working on these slime block launchers. That seems like a good idea. So for those, we will put the dispenser, hopper, all this redstone-y stuff back away. All of this can go. For those, I need sticky pistons, slime blocks. I do need some redstone dust and my furnaces. Sweet. So the furnaces, I guess we will just sit them like this. 2, 3. And now I need a redstone dust underneath this one. So I'll put it on top of it like that. And then my sticky piston, and then my slime block, like that. Ooh, and something very important, which I forgot. Pressure plates. Oops. So now, when you walk on this, if you hit it from this direction, yep, it launches you up. Perfect. So we'll build a little tower here. I guess for right now, I'll build it out of cobblestone. 3, 4, 5. And then here. Kind of like I showed you earlier. Oop. Bam. And now you're on it. Alright, so I got all 3 launchers and all 3 little platforms in place. Now, what I've got to do is I've got to, add the pressure plate and then add the redstone to connect down into here. So, what I can actually do, and I think I should do, is probably bring this up by 1, because that's where it's going to need to be. And I didn't want to do that at first because cobblestone is not going to be the final design. In fact, as far as design, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do, but since I did decide to call this game the Two Towers, it does make sense to, instead of having like red team and blue team, have like a black team and a white team, right? For like dark and evil, from the Lord of the Rings type stuff. Which means that could give me some interesting block palettes for the towers. For like the dark evil side and the light good side, whatever. I don't know if that's something to think about. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any ideas or suggestions for type of design I could use for these towers. I would really appreciate it because I am, I've got some general ideas, but any input I appreciate. So, yep, that's why I make the videos. Okay, so that's good. Now we can start adding this stuff. I need more pressure plates. Okay, and I got torches and redstone. I need repeaters. Ugh. I hope I have enough. I don't think I have enough repeaters. But okay, so see, that doesn't work if you do it like that. You have to hit it that way. So, all right. Put a pressure plate, and then directly under that pressure plate, we'll have a block. And on top of that block will be redstone. And then from off of that, we'll have a torch. So when we step on that, this torch will turn off. So now what I've got to do is kind of run this line into the middle and figure out where the torch tower is going to go, and then create the same thing off of the other ones, connect them all up, and hit them into the torch tower. Whew. Alright, so the torch tower is in place. Holding shift. It goes down from the bottom. When this torch becomes powered, this torch will unpower. And that's what we want. So, headed back down. And now all I've got to do is connect up these other ones. And I guess that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, it's because I don't want another torch. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because another torch down at the bottom would reverse all of that, and then I'd have to invert the signals coming from all of these guys, and I don't want to do that. So we'll just leave that there for now. So now what I've got to do is finish up these towers, and then basically just run a redstone line from this guy, which is going to be taken from right here, I believe. Yep. And we're just going to basically run it like this up into these towers. I just realized something. I said something wrong. This is pretty close to correct, but what I actually need to do is that. Because I need to invert the signal again. I suppose I could just stair step it down, but I think I want to leave it like that because I'm going to be covering this up, and I think stair stepping it down, I think I'll be able to do more with this shape than like a stair shape coming off of it. So, all right. Because I was looking at this like, wait a minute, that's going to trip the torch tower, and I don't want that. I don't want it to trip unless they're standing on it. So I got to invert it again. Anyways, moving on. All right, so all of that redstone is now in place. All of these are connected up. So that torch up there should turn off if I stand on any of these pressure plates. I don't know if I'll be able to see it from here. No. But if that lights up, it'll do it. Let's try here. So, oh, it would help. It would help if I put a pressure plate down, right? There, bam. So now that torch is off. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Okay, so most of the redstone at the bottom is now in place. For the item elevator, I've got this little comparator clock, real simple. I'm sure y'all know how it works. And I've got all of the pressure plates now connected up to that torch tower on the other side. And also of important thing to note here, if I can get around to the opening, is this torch I've added. Now this torch locks this downward hopper chain, I suppose, two ways. It powers this block, which locks the hopper between this one, and this torch also locks this hopper. I don't necessarily like that it locks them both ways, but functionally it will work the same way. So what we've got to do now is get two different ways to provide power to this block. And how I'm going to do that is, one, I'm going to hook up a lever which will constantly power it, and that will be like the reset lever. And that is, you're not allowed to touch that during the game. That's only when the game is over, because that will just reset the whole thing. And then I will add a defensive pressure plate. I don't know how the best way to think about it, but basically it's be another pressure plate, probably like right here, that you stand on, and while you're standing on it, it is activating a hopper clock, which is ticking, providing, you know, a pulse of power to this every other one, so that it'll be half as fast, I suppose, as like this one. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and I'm pretty sure this is completely done. Functionally. It's functionally done. Obviously, it's not completely done. This looks terrible right now. The idea will be there won't be any visible cobblestone unless I just, for whatever reason, decide to go with like a cobblestone type theme. But I don't think so. As I mentioned, I was looking at the dark and light themes of the two towers. So, functionally, this is complete. What I've added this lever here, which, remember, that torch is what is locking the bottom. So that is what makes basically this whole thing work. When I flip this lever, that torch stays off permanently until I flip the lever again. So this is how you reset it. As long as nobody's standing on any of these tower platforms, well, not that one, but the other three, this top one stays locked. So any items that were in here get flushed down into the item elevator, up to the top, and get stuck in that chest until somebody stands on one and unlocks the top again. So that's how you reset the system. Additionally, I've got this pressure plate up here, which is hooked up to this this tiny little hopper clock, which, you know, I'm sure y'all have seen. It's two hoppers facing into each other. There's that torch right here. So when you stand on this pressure plate, this torch deactivates, allowing the item to pass back and forth. And I've got a comparator off of one of them and a repeater to boost the signal, because it'll only be a signal of one, because it's just a piece of redstone dust in there. And so that will come up and pulse this, and you'll be able to see that when I stand up here. So if I stand on it, you can see the torch is blinking instead of just permanently off. So every time this torch turns off, basically one item will go through. So this is kind of a way to slowly stop your opponents from taking your tower. However, it's probably not the best way to stop them. This is more of a, I don't know, I just thought it would be fun. To be honest, I'm really not sure how this game is going to even work out, if it's going to be fun at all. I just kind of like the redstone idea behind it, and truthfully, the inspiration for this entire game was the slime block launcher. I just really like the idea of launching yourself up onto a platform. Yeah, so right now, all of this should be completely empty. There's no items anywhere. So I need to obviously get a bunch of items to put in there, and I need to rebuild this whole thing over there. All right, guys, I am up here on top of the second tower. I built it, and I've actually just got done doing some AFK fishing and gathering up a whole bunch of junk from the fish farms that are non-stackable to throw in these chests. So hopefully it should all be working now. We're going to ender pearl down and check it out. I've also been hunting, took a break and did some hunting in the nether for quartz and stuff, so that's probably, if you see all those levels, I'm not sure how that's all working out now, but that's where they came from. So if I stand here, and we just stand here, that's all you gotta do. Yep, the lights are gonna slowly go up. Now I could replace all that stuff with, you know, stacks of items, but this would take even longer. And, you know, I think that this is already kind of too fast, because at this point you win, right? So if nobody stops you, that's over. So I might actually need to replace that with stackable items and just have, you know, full stacks of stuff in here. But yeah, so that's how you load your points. And then, you know, if you're defending, you can come back here, and obviously this will be built up with stairs and stuff, so it's easier. But when you stand on this, you can see it blinking. So this is, you know, slowly taking items out. It's taking them out about half as quickly as you would be. So if somebody's still standing on there, the items will still be filling up faster than they'll be draining from the bottom. So, you know, it's got to be a coordinated effort to knock off those guys while at the same time making sure you're standing back here. So that works, and the item elevator seems to be working just fine. Hopefully nothing has popped out the top. Nope, looks good. And of course, there's the full reset lever, which will knock them all up. And eventually, yep, it's done. It clicks and stops making noise. So that is basically how the game works. It's functionally complete. And unfortunately, that's all the time I've got for this episode. So if you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment for sure. Let me know what you think of the game, any suggestions you have. Maybe we can make it better, how we should decorate it, stuff like that. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.